you're selling a high ticket, I don't like talking to people. I mean, I will, but I'm a horrible salesman. When I hear Tom teach about handling objections, I'm like, I've heard this a million times, but I'm like, that is so amazing. That's so awesome. And like, I write it all down, but then when it comes time for me to get on the phone, all of that, just like forget all of that stuff, flies out the window. And I find for me personally, I spend an hour with somebody on the phone only to get at the end them to be like, okay, I need to think about it. And then I'm going to be like, yeah, okay. Well, just let me know. And so like the stupidest thing. And then my other problem is I give them too much information. I like spew out all of this awesome stuff because I'm wanting to help them. And then I'm like overwhelming them and they're like, oh, this is great. Let me go implement that stuff. Then I'll come back to you. It's okay to be not good on the phone. And you should always be practicing and getting better at it. But Russell Brunson, a lot of you guys know him. He sells 100 $300 trillion a year, right? Whatever he's doing. And he admits it himself. He's the worst sales guy on the phone. So what does he do? He hires somebody else to do it, or he develops offers to get people to sign up and pay in advance, or at least know the price in advance so that when you do get on the phone with them, it's just a quick 5-10 minute call. But it all starts with the offer, right? Like you've got to, this sounds so simple, but it's got to be said. You need to know your customers and you need to know their pain so well that the offer just becomes, it becomes easy. And that's what sells itself. I don't want to have a program that I have to like convince them that this is what they should have, right? Like this, I know their pain and problems so well that it's either a fit or it's not a fit. They know before they even book a calendar call with me. So I know their pain and I'm offering a solution to their problem that nobody else is offering. And so it starts with that. What is their biggest pain? And for me, in the land investing and real estate investing, specifically land investing right now, one of their biggest pains is there's like 2 or 3 of them. Number one, it's getting leads. And number 2, it's negotiating. They don't like negotiating with sellers on the phone, or they don't know how to evaluate deals. And number 3 is the money. Where am I going to get the money for these deals? And so my offer right now is I solve all 3 of those things for them. Number 1, and the other big thing is that helps sell coaching, and you need to think about this. It needs to be like real measurable. You need to be able to give them measurable results in a short amount of time. And I didn't invent this stuff up. I mean, all of this stuff that I do, I've modeled from seeing other people in other industries do this. I decided, you know what, they want leads. So I'm going to give them 90 leads in 90 days. And that is like a real, so included in my coaching program is done for you marketing, where I'm going to give them 90 leads in 90 days. So their problem is they want leads. And so I'm just going to give them leads. And I wanted a believable amount, something that I can easily fulfill. And so for me, I can give them 90 leads in 90 days. And a lead is anybody who raises their hand and says, yeah, I'll sell my property, make me an offer. Sometimes, we've been in the business so long, we forgot what the beginner's pain was, right? Like it's easy to forget that. So sometimes it's helpful just to step back a little bit and talk to people and ask them, right? But also just go to ChatGPT and say, hey, I'm doing this and that. What are my potential customers' biggest fears and problems and concerns? And they'll like 99% accurate. It's really, really good. They're afraid of being scammed. They're afraid of like, is it going to cost a lot of money to do this? Is it hard to negotiate? What if I make a bad offer on a bad deal? What if I buy a bad deal? So just do some research and write down their 5 biggest pains and objections. And that's your offer. Like at least those are your bonuses. Maybe the offer is to teach them how to do this thing you're doing. But then the bonuses are, you have these 5 big problems and objections, and you're going to knock each and every one of them down with your offer. But I'm just saying it all starts with the offer. Because if your offer sucks, it doesn't matter how good you are on the phone, the little funnel that I'm going to give you of the steps, none of that matters if your offer stinks. So you need a good offer. And I'm just saying to create a good offer, if you have a good offer, like again, you don't have to close them on the phone. They're already sold. They want what you've got. So for example, in mine, I'm going to give them 90 leads in 90 days. The other big problem is they don't know how to negotiate, or they don't know how to price deals. And so we do a couple of things. Number one, every morning we do comping calls. So every morning they can hop on and we will review their leads and tell them what to offer. We'll tell them what the property's worth, what they could offer. And then also, if they want, if they make the initial call to the seller, do the initial pre-screening, we will negotiate with the seller and we will make the offer. And when we do that, it's a deals partnering. It's 70% of the profits to us, 30% to them. But I have students right now that would love those deals. And so that also takes the pressure off of them of like, you know, I don't know how to talk to people. I don't want to talk to people. And so they love that. The other thing is money for their deals. And so it's either my money, I have private investors, we have funding companies that we work with, we have hard money lenders. So we have all the money they need for their deals. So just in those little examples right there, I've knocked off 3 or 4 of their biggest objections and problems. Right. And we're doing something for them. So it's just, and that's why I can charge a premium. It includes the marketing. We're going to do the marketing for you. For example, if you had an offer, you're helping people write their first book. Well, one of their biggest objections is I don't have the time. So what if your offer was, I'll write your book for you. All you have to do is sit down for 1 hour, tell us your story. We'll record it and turn that into a book. Like that's what's their biggest problems and objections and pains, and then just solve that for them. Now, when you have figured that out and you have a good offer, the rest is easy.